It's a screaming orgasm.
Have a nice day. 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 Have a nice day.
It's a screaming orgasm.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
It's a screaming orgasm.
Have a nice day.
It's a screaming orgasm.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.
These women have just seen their doctor, Dr. Death. He stalks the city through the dark of night.
I think somebody's coming toward my apartment.
He has powers more terrible than any man who ever lived. Don't answer your doorbell.
What do you want?
It may be Dr. Death making a house call. Rated R.
But can you answer the phone if you can't answer your doorbell?
Come on,
I
Dr.
mean,
Death's on the phone.
Tell us the rules here, please, somebody. Good evening, fans of fantastic films, and welcome to the Drive-In Asylum double feature. Once again, your favorite way to spend a Saturday night, isn't it? Isn't it?
Definitely is mine.
Yeah, mine too, but you know.
Well, We got a good crew, it looks like, out here in the chat. Welcome to the show. We got 2 crazy movies. Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls. He's a specialist in his field. That's what they say on the box.
Yeah. They call him Dr. Death.
You know they call him.
We're running down all the other Doctor songs
We
in the
didn't do
chat.
UFO.
So,
We didn't do Doctor, please.
yeah.
Oh, we didn't do Doctor Who. Hey, so there's a bunch of Doctor songs we didn't do.
Doctor Who.
Hey, and we can do the Time Lords one. Anyway, I got my Dr. Death. We can Dr. Feelgood.
Ooh,
A whole bunch of doctors.
you are on brand tonight. Look at you.
And this is the Scorpion releasing re-release that Kino Lorber put out this year, which you can get on their site. And got a nice slip. And there he is, Dr. Death. These women have just seen their doctor, but it doesn't look like they had a good time, does it? This is
No.
got a audio commentary by star John Constantine. Constantine?
Considine, yeah.
An interview with him, an interview with the director's son, Steve Saeda, and an actual introduction by Dr. Death himself, which is pretty cool. He did a new introduction in character for the Blu-ray. So pretty rad. You can, again, Kino Lorber, but it's the Scorpion releasing one that came out a bit ago.
And I had a very embarrassing moment just now when I can't even remember if I own that Blu-ray, because if I did buy it, it's probably sitting on a pile of Blu-rays that are all still in the shrink wrap of stuff I bought up to like 3 or 4 years ago. So maybe not.
I have plenty of those. I'm going through the Blu-rays, by the way, getting ready for the end of April at the drive-in. I'll have several Blu-rays to give away, so look out. If anybody's interested, just come on up.
Oh yeah, that's a fun little thing that you do at the drive-in. You give away some Blu-rays, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, come
and
down.
DVDs.
DVDs, yeah. There'll actually be some interesting ones, because I got the Arrow Conan sets. So if you don't have Conan, you should. That's one. And there's a whole bunch of Barbarella, because I just got the Blu-ray of that too. So yeah.
I love the part where the little voracious birds go after her. She's like, "Oh, look how darling!"
Jeff on the Canon didn't know what movie it was, but it had scarred him since he was a little kid. And finally, he rewatched Barbarella, and he's like, "That's the movie. That's the one that did it." Yeah.
What scarred him?
Just the way that those looked really cute, and then they bit her, and it just
the bird part.
Yeah, and just for years he was upset about it. Hey, I see Andrew and David saying hi in the chat. Hey guys, and Paul. So hey everybody.
And Candy Apple Blue.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna get a peek at the new Candy Apple Blue. Well, it's out there. It's called I Want a Party. You can go find it on YouTube, and it's gonna be our countdown timer for the 3rd segment. So something to look forward to later.
I'm bringing 3rd energy segment to the 1st segment tonight. That's how I feel. I'm like jazzed about this tonight.
We got to turn it up. We got to turn the volume up on these broadcasts, because
dude, I got to tell you, these are 2 of these movies are totally us. Like this is, you can tell who picked each one, but these are totally like our kind of movies. I fucking love Midnight beyond belief. I'll have a lot to say about it. And I really dig. I didn't see Dr. Death for the first time until last year when this Blu-ray reissue came out. And I really like it. It's super, super weird in a good way. It feels like it needs a bigger cult than it has. You know?
Yeah, I never knew what that movie was. I mean, I think I saw it maybe like 5 years ago. It was before COVID, but it was just something that I just clicked on as a lark, because I knew nothing about it. I was like, wow, this movie's pretty awesome.
It feels like
it's weird.
It would be a good double feature for Simon King of the Witches. It feels like it lives in that same world where it's like kind of 70s occult, but kind of not, kind of like filmed like a TV movie. I love it. It's got something interesting about it, but nobody talks about it. And it's like, let's change it. That's what we did last week. Let's change it this week too.
It's kind of low key, I have to say. It's sort of low key. It doesn't have any dazzling special effects in it or anything. It's kind of like, you know, an inner sanctum type story, or something that belongs in a horror anthology, but it's feature length, and it's got some gore in it too.
It's kind of a hang too. Yeah, it feels like you can just kind of chill out. I dig that. It's very early 70s, you know?
I think
Let's
your
just
camera was up there for a minute,
chill
but
on
yeah,
it.
it is kind of laid back and chill. I think it's going to be a hit with at least a third of our audience. Probably two are
Yeah,
going to be.
that's what we aim for. If 33% of you like it, that's really what we're aiming for. I think people will dig Midnight. Midnight played the drive-in a while back, and
Yeah.
I actually already had a drink recipe, and I didn't use it. I made a new one for Midnight tonight. So there are 2 recipes. If you look in the
Well, good.
list of cocktails, there's another one. But I really
You're not repeating yourself. That's a good thing.
I really like both drinks this week. They're both really different. And I tried a sip of them, and maybe a little more in the sip. The one I will say, the midnight drink, if you have a cold, it's going to clear your nose out. It is very good. So that's a
Now you
positive
tell
thing.
me.
That's not like yeah, that's a pot. Well, yeah, maybe like retroactively, let's send it back when we have the bad colds. Let's send it to Gene if he still has that cold, and clear him up.
All
Uh,
right. Yeah.
yeah, but
Hack, hack, cough.
uh, super excited though to watch these, and I think Midnight's another movie where it's like, is it as big outside of Pittsburgh? I think it is. I mean, Severn put it out. Um, but
Sure.
to us here, it's like, wow, Midnight's like a local joint, and that's pretty cool.
It's super low budget. In fact, the more they clean it up, the
Yeah.
worse it looks,
Yeah,
I
I know.
think.
I might
Because that Blu-ray is
oh,
just like crystal clear, and you're like, oh, maybe they shouldn't have fixed it up that much.
where's my Majorettes Blu-ray? That's what I'm asking. I want that.
Oh, that movie is so
Oh,
awesome.
I think about
How
it at least once a week, how much I like that
how did
movie.
I go so far in life without seeing the Majorettes? It's a
Oh,
crime.
I love it because it's just like, it's such a rambling movie. Like you like it starts off as one movie, turns into a revenge movie. There's so much that happens in a downer ending. Hey, what's up, Andrew? How's it going? Thanks for watching the show. Uh, Andrew has a podcast, Sasquatchers,
Oh,
and
right
it's pretty
on.
rad. Um, but yeah, and Midnight, as we know, has that most Pittsburgh thing in it as well. If you have an above ground pool, you are rich. It's a midnight thing. Anywhere else in the country, you'd be like, is why did they? I guess, and no, in Pittsburgh, these things get across. Also, that bar that with the snake in it that happens, and there's all the Iron City signs. I've been in that bar, like not that bar, but we've all. If you're from Pittsburgh, you've been in that bar. That bar in Monongahela burned down. The Main Street Tavern burned down this week, Bill. So we're
Ah,
down a bar. We still have
no.
100. 2 bars have burned down since I moved here, but they're rebuilding my favorite one, so that's good. So
Is this like a Norwegian death metal thing? You're burning all the bars in Monongahela.
yeah, I am. I'm like the Burzum of Monongahela.
You're
Uh,
like Norwegian Christian death metal.
yeah.
You're gonna burn down all the porn stars and the
Oh,
bars and
oh.
whatever Christians are angry
I'm
about
like,
right now.
don't enter the house. Don't what do you call it? I'm like that disco slasher. What's that one? Don't
Don't
go
go
in
in the
the
house.
don't go in the house. Yeah. You know what's funny is I thought I had that on Blu-ray and I got to buy it because I really like that movie. Oh yeah, and Sean brings it up. I totally forgot. It's Linda's birthday today. Linda Gillen's
It
birthday.
is.
And man,
Happy birthday to Linda Gillen,
yeah,
our favorite cannibalism near victims, and so many other wonderful movies she did. Happy birthday to you.
yeah. I'm super excited. I love seeing her art too. Her art is
Hmm.
just improving and better every time I see it.
That's what's so great, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because I mean, she was always good,
yeah.
but like you just see her getting even better, like
Oh yeah.
better and better. Some of the stuff she does looks like a picture. It
Oh,
looks like a photograph.
it's astounding. Yeah. Anytime, like I'll sometimes put up some of my like crappy art, and she'll always like it and say, "Oh, it's so good, Sam." I'm like, "You're a real artist. Like I'm just like
Yeah,
a hack with an iPad." But it's pretty great. She's pretty wonderful. Um.
she's devoted to it
Oh
too.
yeah.
I mean, she's dedicated to it. Like, she sets aside time to paint. She tells me whenever I talk to her, and
Mm.
she's particular about where she paints, and she prefers to paint with the daylight. And she does a lot of online
Oh wow.
tutorials. So she's done a lot of work at it, and it's really paid off.
The bar that burned down here, it's a New Eagle, which is the next town down, and it was like my favorite bar. But it would have been there since the 20s. And what do you call it? The building outside it where the kitchen was, it was 2 buildings. The kitchen building was wood. The other building was concrete. and sparks. Someone was burning trash, and the sparks from the burning trash got into the kitchen and set it on fire. So it's like it
I hate
was
when that
the
happens.
lot was empty for like 6 months. Now they finally started building it. It's back up, and they had amazing food. It's like one of those bars where there's like a 12-page menu. You're like, how do they have so much stuff? Like the weirdest stuff on the menu. And during COVID, it was great because they had a window that you could go to and pick up your food, so you could just drive by and pick up, and it was awesome. And you could pick up beer too and cocktails to go. It was a pretty rad joint. So I'm hoping it comes back. So
Classy.
across the street, there's a gas station, the Palmar, and they have the PM Grand in it. It's I was like, what is that? It's a room with like 8 slot machines. They have it looking like Vegas. I like that they put a sign on it, a glittery sign that says the PM Grand. So if you come to Monongahela, I'll take you to see the sights, as they say. Oh,
So,
Candy Apple Blue's been to New Eagle. Awesome. I live minutes from New Eagle. I'm right there. So we'll have to meet up sometime.
I have a sneaking suspicion that's Carly from Candy Apple Blue,
Oh, okay.
and she probably knows that area pretty well.
There's a lot of thrift shops here and a lot of
She's from
consignment
Bell
shops.
Vernon.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
She's from the Bell Vernon area.
That's where I go to Walmart. So yeah, I know it. There's an awesome pizza shop there, Uncle Coco's, which is a horror movie themed pizza shop. And they have a wood-fired grill. It's amazing food, but when you go in, there's the picture of Freddy coming out of when he had the pizza with all the souls in it. They have a big painting of it behind the counter, which is awesome, right? Like, how cool is that? The first time I was in there, they were watching Friday the 13th 3 while I was eating. So I was like, this is like, how is this?
Oh wow,
How is this
my
place?
favorite one.
Yeah, how is this place real? You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool. So
That's everyone's favorite Friday the 13th except me.
it's the most Friday the 13th. Like, you know what I mean? When you think of Friday the 13th, 3 would be it. Yours is 1 or 2, right? You're into the 1 and 2.
They're pretty much interchangeable. I have a preference for 1, but 2 is just as good as 1. I'm done with it after that, though.
You're right.
It's like,
I like 6. How about that? I like the
I
stupid
know
one.
everyone loves 6.
I love
Roger Braden loves 6.
We were talking on the Making Tarantino podcast about how they don't make teaser trailers anymore that have nothing to do with the movie, that aren't in there. And I love that New York had the trailer that looked kind of like the I Love New York commercials, and then it revealed Jason. And then you're like, yeah, but it's Toronto or Vancouver, But yeah, I like that movie. My favorite one is just for the experience. I saw Jason Goes to Hell in the theater, and when they shoot him in that one scene, they find him in Youngstown, and I saw it in Youngstown, so it was the rowdiest crowd ever. And they're like, "Holy shit, Jason's in our town!" I'm like, it's not real, guys. Like, it's cool, but it was super rowdy. So I like that. I like seeing a movie. The more amped up an audience is, like, I hate when people go to movies and they're like, "Oh, the crowd was so loud," and they wouldn't stop talking. Like, I saw one of the Conjuring movies, like the Nun one, I think, and while not my favorite movie, like, the kids were like bouncing off the walls and screaming every time something happened. So it's like, yeah, like that makes it more fun, right?
Well, yeah, admittedly,
Yeah.
almost any movie is fun when you can go enjoy it that way.
Yeah. I don't like a dour audience. I like an audience engaged. I saw at Row House played Troll 2 once, and as much as I love Troll 2 on my own, seeing it in an audience of several whom hadn't seen it before, and just hearing people break out into laughter at different points, like, it was an awesome experience. Whenever the sheriff's like, "My name's Gene Freak," like, literally people were in hysterics. So it was a good time.
There's a video on YouTube that somebody put up of audio they recorded in a theater for a screening of the original Halloween from 1979. You know that. I post that all the time.
It's so good, though. It's like,
yeah, it's only a minute and a half long, but it's during the climax, where he sits back up again and everybody screams. And that's just amazing to me. I wish there was a whole cassette of that he had found. And I got in touch with him, actually, and I was like, "Can you please post more?" He's like, "Oh, that's all I have." That's all that survives.
I used to have a Rocky Horror cassette that was the recording. They put out like the shadow cast from New York, the main group, and it was the whole movie, but with people yelling, and it was so cool that it was just on cassette. It was like, because it was before couldn't get the movie back then. You know what I mean? Or I couldn't go to Pittsburgh and see it. So that was my exposure to it.
So, what else should we talk about before we get into Dr. Death? We have a little leeway there. It's just you and me, Sam,
I
this
know.
week.
Just us. Just
Mhm.
us. Can we find a
Just
way to make each other right? This week on the site was all the Visual Vengeance movies that are up on Tubi. There's a ton of them. And a lot of Bruno Mattei movies that they have 4 of them they have the rights to, and they're all up there. Some of the later ones. Hey, Bill, I know you don't like his movie Virus. Would you like the remake? That's shot in the Philippines on digital cameras and has scenes from Under Siege in it. You might. It's up. It's
Wow.
up there. Yeah. It also has Goldberg's entrance music in it. Like he's just like, that's what I love. Like any other director.
That I like.
Yeah. Any other director would be like, I need a submarine scene, and how are we going to get the budget to do it? Maybe we'll get stuck. And Bruno Mattei was like, what if I just rent K-19 The Widowmaker and just copy this 2 minutes and just dump it in my movie? And it's like, yeah, he did it. So it's out there. So
I think I may have been a little too hard on Night of the Zombies. I should go back and watch it again. Maybe we should do it on the show
I think we should.
sometime.
I
I
think
don't know. I've always thought I always held that up as my personal worst, like the movie that annoys me the most. But I have different standards now than I did in the early '90s.
I think it's fun. Also, I like that it outright just takes Goblin songs. Like you're like, hey, did you like these songs in other movies? Yeah, cool. They're on our movie now too. That's another Bruno Mattei-ism.
A couple people stole Goblin
Oh,
music,
yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah, a lot of people did, or they did stuff that sounds just like it. But yeah, there's a lot of that stuff was like not library music, but it was all sold to the same like soundtrack library too. So there's like a lot of stuff that gets taken from that too.
What about Contamination? Did they steal, or was that music written for them?
I think they got a couple songs that were written for it, and then a couple that were just like that Goblin had sold to soundtrack libraries. So there was like a combination of the two.
Hmm.
And Mike, I agree. White Apache is actually shockingly good. It's like competent, like which is weird for one of his. Some of his movies, you're like, how did this happen? You know what I was thinking about this week, Bill, about Bruno Mattei is that The Other Hell played at Showcase Cinemas on McKnight Road, which, if you're not from Pittsburgh, was the fancy theater, right? That's probably one of the nicer theaters in town.
Was it?
It was one of the that's where I saw Empire Strikes Back. Like it was a nice theater, but like all these Bruno Mattei movies played there, and all the Fulci movies played there, and like, can you imagine? Like you could just walk across, like Empire was out at the same time as those movies. You could just be like, cool. Like I could have accidentally walked into House by the Cemetery as a 9-year-old Sam and had my mind blown. So David's got the answer on Contamination. Yeah, some of the songs are from Beyond Darkness, but mostly it's an original soundtrack. When in doubt, go to David. He knows the Goblin soundtrack.
Thanks, David.
Answers. Yeah, there were a bunch of Showcase cinemas. Also, I remember when Empire Strikes Back played there, you could buy a book of the movie. Remember when they used to do that? You could buy like a program for the movie. They do that in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it was really cool.
I have a couple Japanese programs, one for Tentacles and one
wow.
for Alien, and
Oh.
a couple other things too.
I got Alien from the Deep, Bill, from Severin the other day.
No.
Yes. I love Cruel Jaws too, Andrew. That's a super favorite, aka Jaws 5. Love that movie. It's got Hulk Hogan, a fake Hulk Hogan in it, Yeah, that's true, Mike, that you could see Murder Rock on the big screen. Like that would be, God, could you imagine? We haven't shown Murder Rock either. What is wrong? Come on.
Well, we can't do all the movies at once.
What if we did? What if we just injected them like Videodrome directly into their brains?
Well, what are we wasting our time doing this show for if we can do shit like that,
I mean, we'd be rich. I'd
Right.
be able to put a videotape in my stomach and my hand would turn into a freeze gun. Wouldn't that be rad?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to die, but we don't all live.
Well,
We don't all live, right? So
is it really dying when it's Videodrome?
all hail the new flesh. That's what I say. It is from
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Videodrome does they did triangulate the signal, and it
Mhm.
is coming from the worst city in America, Pittsburgh.
Poor Nikki.
Oh, poor Nikki. Oh boy.
Once she had a love and it was a gas, but
Oh,
then
found out. Oh.
she got on Videodrome and that was the end of it.
I got to tell you, when that movie came out, because that was like prime Starlog and Debbie Harry era for me as a 10-year-old or so young boy.
Yeah.
I was like, I had not even entered puberty yet, so I'm like, I don't know what this Debbie Harry is all about, but whatever it is, it's confounding me as a young child. I don't know these feelings. I can't figure them out, but they're mystifying. And yeah, they.
I've been watching a lot of reaction videos
Mm.
for Blondie's Rapture
Oh,
this week. I
oh
don't know.
wow.
YouTube kept shoving them at me.
Hmm.
And when I needed stuff to put on in the background, I would put it on. And like,
Oh
it's amazing. First of all, I don't believe that there are people who have never heard Rapture,
yeah.
but they're out there. And even if you have never heard Rapture, don't you at least know that Rapture was like the number one, when it was the first
Yeah.
rap song to reach number one in the United States? And also that there's so many fantastic people in the video. Basquiat is in it.
Fab Five
Is that how
Freddy.
you say his
Yeah.
name?
Well, I'm not the one
I don't know.
to.
I'm asking you.
Yeah. It's kumquat is the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's in the video
Yeah.
because Grandmaster Flash didn't show up for
Yeah.
the video segment, for the video shoot. So they got him to be the DJ in the video instead. And also Fab Five Freddy is in the
Mhm.
video. She name drops him and Flash, but only Fab Five Freddy showed up for the shoot. And it's just amazing. And I just realized for the first time that there's a whole segment in that that's all one take.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it sometime. It's one fucking take. And there's like 2 or 3 different takes in the video, but the main part where she starts rapping, like that's all one take. And there's all this weird shit going on too. Somebody walks behind her with a goat. And I mean, to get an animal in the video and have it happen all in one take, that's pretty impressive. I think so. I was loving it.
When I went to that OTO party that I've told you about, that Crowley party, that's all they were. Everybody was
Yeah.
stoned and just watching bootlegs of Blondie concerts and eating guacamole. And I thought, when I finally got to go to a real satanic party, I thought it was going to be like, like I'd seen like the Black House from Anton LaVey, like, where's the nude altar and where's all the craziness? Like, no, everybody's just stoned and eating guacamole and blue crab. That's all they had to eat. And they're sitting, I'm like, I'm not gonna eat blue crab out of a can. Like, that seems bad. It seems like something can go wrong. Like, I was more worried, not worried about getting sacrificed. I was worried about getting botulism. And then they went outside and farted at the moon. It was not what I was led to believe it was going to be. And it was boring. So
It's not the way it is in the movies.
no, I thought it was going to be like Enter the Devil. You know what I mean? Like that level. I thought someone's going to come down off a cross and possess me. It didn't happen, or did it? And I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It might have happened, but the memory was erased
It raced. I'm like, what
by
do you
the
call it?
coven.
I'm like the, what do you call it? Remembers. Yeah, the coven. I'm like one of those satanic panic stories. It's all going to come back, and then I'll be
Mhm.
like, oh my god, they forced me. I was going out. Well, I wasn't going out. I was trying to go out with this girl who lured me to this, and she ended up fobbing her brother off of me, who was way on the spectrum, and he could only talk about helicopters. And I'm like, this is, again, none of this is the party that we thought we were going to get. So, anyways, next week on the site is, if anybody remembers the Research Incredibly Strange Film book, it's all good. Next 2 weeks will be movies that come from that book, which is a very seminal book in my development of finding weird movies. So some examples, perhaps. Yes. Horrors of the Black Museum will be up tomorrow. Jailbait, the Ed Wood movie. Human Duplicators, which I never saw, and holy cow, I love. The Beat Generation, The Frozen Dead, Live Fast, Die Young, Mom and Dad, which I'd never watched before, and wow, it's something. Werewolves on Wheels, The Zodiac Fighters, Riot on the Sunset Strip, and The Last Prom, which, Bill, did they make you watch that movie in school?
I think
man.
so.
It's really good. It came out in 1980, and it's totally like, it fits into the 1979 to 1981 slasher world. It's a 28-minute movie. this girl breaks up with her boyfriend. She gets hooked up with another guy. They go to the prom with another couple. The boys are drinking the whole time. And throughout the prom, there are flash forwards to what's going to happen, like an accident, like blood on the windshield, all this stuff. And it keeps like subtly coming up. And it's got like an atonal soundtrack. It's like, man, this is awesome. And then what?
I remember. I just remember one video they corralled us into the gym to watch, and it was all about how you don't fuck around on the bus.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
And in the movie, it was a movie because this was like in the 70s before there was a video thing. But
Yeah.
it was they showed a girl get run over by a bus.
Yeah. The
It
girls.
was pretty shocking.
Did they do the fake accident in your school?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. So like before the prom every year, they would get like a wrecked car, and then they would put like some of the popular kids would get in the car and act like they were dead, and they would bring us all out into the parking lot, and they would say, "This is what could happen if you drink or drive, or
Right
you
on.
do stuff." And I begged my senior year, I'm like, "Can I please do the special effects for the mock accident?" And they said no, because you'll upset people. Because I was really into doing effects then. Like you'll, and
Oh, well, what were they trying to do? Make people happy by showing
yeah,
them that?
they're like, "You're just going to put intestines everywhere." And I said, "Yes, I am. But don't you think that people will think more about this and not drive like maniacs?" But no, could not. So we all,
They should have done it your way.
they should have. And we all stood there, and the whole time, like, these effects are horrible. Like, they just got some fake blood, and they just put it on their faces, and like, oh, and like they had like a voiceover, and like, "I am dead. I should not have driven like this." Like, they should make this crazier. Like, let me creative direct this. As like 16-year-old Sam, even nuttier than me. Now, like, even more like insane. Like, let's do it. Like, that's one of my dreams, that I could have done that, because I would have had like demons in it. It would have been great. But and literally demons.
Demonic possession, yeah.
Someone would have put on a silver mask. I would have had
Potential.
the silver mask like demons. It would have been rad.
Don't you disappear too, baby.
That's what's
Rosemary's in the bathroom freaking out. She'll be right with you.
fuck happened to Rosemary. Also this week, if you guys get a chance to listen, I did the Making Tarantino podcast, which is pretty rad, and I did Impulse with Philip on that, and you can listen to that and buy the movie. There's a new version from MVD and Grindhouse, a non-limited edition one that just came out, if you missed the limited edition one. And also the new issue of the podcast is up, and it is If Footmen Bother You, What Will Horses Do? Man, talk about a Bill. I know, like, you're like, do I want to watch a religious movie? Like, do you want to watch a movie where a bunch of kids get their heads cut off and Baptists are shot into mass graves? Because nobody does satanic imagery like religious people. You know what I mean? Like, they are just full on.
Yeah.
Like, you think Jack Chick was crazy, like, or Erstis Perkle and Ron Orman, beyond Jack Chick. There's like some crazy stuff in it.
I mean, go to the people that really believe it if you want to see like the really good
there's
shit.
A great,
they're going to be like, yeah, it's really bad.
It's funny because like
horrible.
The speech that I put on the show that he gives about stuff that's being taught in school, it's the same speech that you'll hear today. Like, nothing has changed, except he goes off about, why do kids like Tarzan? He's a naked man. Why do the boys like the naked man? What are they trying to teach the boys?
Oh, yeah. like he had to explain that to anybody.
Yeah. Tarzan's from the 20s. What is going on? Anyway, yeah, Mandy said she had the prom promise week. Wow, and that's pretty cool. The prom week was just pretty wild. We had to watch a lot of those movies. Also, I had a 5th grade teacher that was an alcoholic, and he would just drink out of his thermos all day, and he literally got every movie he could from our, you know what I mean? Like, we saw every movie there was that he could get, in the school. And this is pre-video, right, Bill? So it was all 16, 8mm, whatever he had. And finally, he just brought in home movies, and we watched his family vacation movies. We never studied. So like when I went to another school the next
family vacation movies?
Yeah. So when I went to a school,
then
I was like a year behind when I went to another school, because I was like, we did not learn anything. It was really weird. I'm not going to say his name, Mr. Shantos, but that was his name. He's dead now, so long gone.
Oh, if he's dead, who cares?
He's going to haunt me now. Also, did you know that somebody died in my basement?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, someone overdosed down here.
But they didn't tell you that when you bought the house.
No, they didn't tell us before we. One of my neighbors told me, and you know what? I wish she never told me because he's right here. Ricky Cassos, he's right here. What was happening in this family vacation films? Dan asks. It's just like his family going to different places. Like here's the Grand Canyon, and like finally, like I was a well-behaved kid, but slightly cynical, even at 5th grade. And I said, "What are we to learn from these?" And I got in a lot of trouble. I think, what are we to pick up from these? And someone said, you don't want to read, do you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I actually do want to read. I want to learn stuff." Um, and yeah, no,
Did they ever show you the movies in school where the guys fill their balls?
no.
You never had to
Oh
watch
yeah,
those?
yeah. Well, that's in
Oh
Mom
my
and Dad.
God.
There's a lot of balls in Mom and Dad, like diseased syphilitic balls in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, in our health class, that was one of the times they split us between
Oh,
the boys and the girls went and watched menstruation films, and we watched testicular cancer warning films. And one of them was this guy like out raking leaves with his family, and then he like goes upstairs, and the next thing you see, he's totally naked in the shower, and like you see his dick and his balls, and he's like checking his balls. And he's like,
oh,
I felt a strange lump. So
wow.
yeah, I mean, I was glad I went to school that day.
I was told I wasn't allowed to answer any more questions in my health class
Of
because
course,
because
you got banned from health.
yeah, because I was like answering too much because I had read all the books because I wanted to know stuff, you know.
No, this
But
was high school, Jeff Jordan. It was not Point Park College.
hmm,
Now Point Park University.
man, where the dude, where the guys fill their balls says, "Damn, I wish I was American." Wow.
Yeah.
You know about my grandmother in the Orbs, right?
No,
So like
the orbs.
my aunt likes to go to paranormal places, and when my grandmother was still alive,
Those
she
orbs.
she would take my grandmother and she showed me a picture. My grandmother was like 4'10", with like bright red hair. And she would like stand her in front of where the orbs were and then take pictures. I'm like, don't put my grandmother in the mouth of the occult. Do you know what I mean? And they were also chasing tornadoes like Twister for a while. What is wrong with people? Yeah,
That one
I'm
I
into
don't
Andrew's
get.
territory now, but like, yeah, and it was like, what are you doing? She never took my grandma squatching. They didn't knock on trees or anything and try to squash with my grandma. But I said, my grandmother can barely walk, and you know, don't. And she's got agoraphobia. Don't make her uh, deal with these.
Andrew, you're just trying to find something that nobody can find. Imagine chasing a storm
Yeah.
that like is going to kill you, and it's killing people or wrecking the ground in front of you, and you're driving into it in your car. I really don't get that. I guess it's
You
like
know, there's a
hang
new
gliding or
Twister.
something.
There's a new Twister coming out this
Yeah.
summer. Twisters,
Mm-hmm.
and like nobody from the originals in it. But maybe they'll be the kids. You know, how they do that shit where they're like, "Oh, my daddy used to chase Twisters." Like, man, you know what the saddest part of that movie is? They're eating all that really good food and they have to like leave the food and she like packs it up for them, that lady. I'm like, man, I wish I had that gravy. So yeah. Uh
Good.
I
He said
hate
he doesn't
uh,
acknowledge twisters.
a twister killed Spotlight 88, so I hate twisters. So if I
Yeah.
could hunt twisters,
They're not just fucking around,
no.
twisters. I
Did
mean,
you ever play the Twister pinball machine that has the fan in it and it blows your hair?
yes.
Yeah, pretty
I
awesome,
love
right?
that game.
That's pretty awesome. Like, where's the Dr. Death pinball machine? Where is the Yeti giant of the 20th century
Oh,
pinball
I don't
machine?
know why. I sounded like Robin Leach there for a second.
You did, and I
Hey,
loved
let's
it.
look at some ads for Dr. Death.
Oh, this is she saw the devil's child.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And there's nothing here that indicates that, and now the screaming starts is about a severed hand.
No, not at all. It seems like it's about a possession movie.
Mm-hmm. But, anything to sell some tickets. This is in London.
Oh,
This is the British screening, which I think happened first before the
wow.
United States. And then all of a sudden, um,
Oh,
an alternate design there.
two
And
X's.
yeah.
Yeah.
North London and all over London. I
Oh,
like those ads that say all over London from Tuesday. Look, you could win tickets to go see it for free.
Oh man, 100 free
Yeah.
seats.
Mm-hmm.
That and the Screaming Starts type is beautiful, though, isn't it?
Oh,
That's
it's gorgeous.
it's a movie about a hand. It's also about the hand.
A stunning horror double feature that will keep all horror film fans glued to their seats.
Do you think Pete Burns won tickets to that?
I wouldn't go see that fucking movie. It looks like a pile of rubbish.
I
No, I
figured.
think Pete Burns was really into cult films.
Was he?
Yeah,
Robert
he
Robert
definitely.
Smith was. He like
Yeah,
requested them from his label when he was in America. Like the video nasties he couldn't see.
yeah. I know Pete Burns was into the John Waters movies because he put like little references to John Waters films here and there in his music
Oh.
and in the interviews. And look, there was something with the classified section that you had to do. I can't read the type anyway. Let's get past this ad. Look at this gorgeous thing. Look,
Oh,
Sam, it's Arnold.
that's coming out on Blu-ray pretty soon. From
Don't you
Keenan.
love it?
Yeah, from Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah.
Arnold was one of those movies that was hard to find for
Oh
many,
yeah.
many years.
Yeah. I love Stella Stevens, so like I'm into it. This is a more accurate and now the Screaming Starts ad. This ad is very accurate.
I love that spiderweb motif they got going on
Oh,
up there too.
3 shows
It's
for
some,
screamers.
it's something special.
That reminds me of that old condom machine. Remember that? Like if she's a moaner, this will make her
Oh
a
yeah,
screamer. And if
a
she's a screamer,
screamer.
this will get you arrested. Oh.
Look here, here it is at the Fulton.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I love that move to see a movie that played there.
It wasn't even in the mini.
Mm,
The Fulton Mini was like a little side screen, but this was in the big room.
wow. He's a specialist though, and I like that you have to pay a higher copay to see Dr. Death, but it's worth it.
Yeah, some insurance plans will not pay for a visit with Dr. Death, but
You have to see
you know,
Dr. Mame to get a recommendation to see Dr. Death first.
and I have to tell you, Dr. Death asks for a lot of money in this movie. There
Yeah.
is a figure that he
Yeah.
gives to one of the people in the film, and it is not cheap.
Yeah. Oh, Dust to Dawn.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. This is
Kharkov.
at least 5 movies.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And Death Race 2000 and Tidal Wave, which is a Japanese movie. Wow.
Wait, where are you seeing that?
On the bottom, 2 terrific features tonight only. Tidal Wave.
Oh,
and
okay,
Death
that's
Race
not part of
2000.
the Dusk to Dawn. Yeah.
No, those are some Corman pickups there. And
Mhm.
the Clones. Wow. Not the Alice Cooper song, but Clones.
Funny you should mention that. You may hear it in the second segment.
Well. Yes, Cigna and Blue Cross do not honor Dr. Death. So yes.
Well, you know.
Dr. Death has great magazines in his waiting room, Dustin. I don't know what music he plays, but he has newer magazines. They're not old. Bill, this is a double feature for you here with Dark Places playing there.
Oh, what
That's
about you?
Yes. A joyous night.
You're saying that like it wouldn't be just as exciting for
It
you.
is. I love it. At the Altus. They'll scare the shit out of you.
Uh-huh. We don't want to say it in the newspaper what they'll scare out of you.
With Zuzu.
Yes, Mandy. I think that was Ocala.
Oh man. That's a beautiful ad, Bill. I love that hand kind of just showing up on the heart. Man.
Yeah, at least that's a little more honest about when
Yeah.
now the screaming starts.
Yeah, wow.
Not to be confused with when the screaming stops
Yeah.
or the night the screaming stopped.
Wow. Oh man. Okay, this is my dream one that we've seen so far. I love House of Drip Blood, even though there's no blood in it. And Asylum, Beck and I were talking about it last week. It's a neck and neck with Tales from the Crypt for my favorite anthology movie. Asylum's so good though. They end with those little robots and the little things in it and all this stuff. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's
There's a lot going on in Asylum.
It's such a good movie. But
I like that the wraparound story has so much prominence in Asylum.
I didn't write a song about Asylum, but I did write a Tales from the Crypt song. So do I like Tales from the Crypt more? Discuss. But yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I would
Spies.
really like you to send that to me again, by the way.
Oh, I will. Yes. Spies is an old HBO fave. Paul's right. That was on HBO a lot. Oh man, this is a beautiful night at the movies.
Here's the abbreviated
Oh,
version.
but still, right? I mean, that's what else can you ask for?
You could ask for Vault of Horror.
Oh, yeah, Terror Lives in the Vault of Horror.
Oh, it might have been too early for Vault of Horror. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what
what's
year this
Vault of
is.
73? Is Vault of Horror 74? Oh, I do love Vault of Horror too. Man, I love Amicus. How about that? Eldon asks, does Dr. Death go by another title? Bill, do you know?
It does not.
It does not.
I really was hoping that there would be an alternate title for this movie, but if there is, I didn't see it, and IMDb doesn't seem to know about it. So there you go. Unfortunately.
I really like this ad with the 3 faces. Like, it's a really nice layout. And this whole ad's great. The second
Those
shot.
faces are amazing.
The faces are made. They're on the box too. Here, there's 5 faces on the slip cover. But like, I love this one over here, where you're like, what? All these women seem like she seems like she's having some problems, but like the other 3 seem like, oh wait, what happened to that one on the end? It's like, it's
That one is the lady in the trailer. It's like, I think there's someone coming near my apartment. Which, how does she know that if she's in the bedroom and they open the door? He opens the door on her right away while she's still on the phone. So not only was he near her apartment, he was just outside her bedroom. She was confused.
Yeah. Could she hear the soundtrack like Jamie Lee Curtis? Did that help her know that somebody was outside?
Eldon, try searching Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls, which is actually the full title for the movie.
Did you know that Miramax has the rights to Halloween again, and they're fast tracking another one?
I keep hearing so many different things. First, I heard they were going to do a TV series.
Yeah, they're doing like a whole universe supposedly, and
Which, because that's what that needs. That's what Halloween needs, is a whole universe.
starting from scratch. They're starting from scratch.
Don't they know anything?
No.
Oh, they're just gonna make shit and call it the new Halloween shit, and people will watch it and people will buy it. So whatever. I'm gonna be a grumpy old man and just say I don't like it.
You know that we'll go see it the first day.
You'll go see it the first day.
Yes. My wife doesn't have an entire leg covered with Halloween stuff for us not to go on the first day. See, Becca said it's already her universe. She just
I have signed off of all of the Halloween.
We have a brick from the drugstore in this room over here. We have a brick from Halloween 4 in this house. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to fall for it again. I'm not going to, even if John Carpenter came back, especially if John Carpenter came back and Jamie Lee Curtis was going to do it again, and Nancy Loomis said should do it again, and PJ Souls said should be in it. I don't care. I don't want another fucking Halloween movie. Jesus.
What do you want? You want to watch the old one?
Yeah, I just want to watch the old and 2.
Yeah.
I got to watch 2 all the time because I love it.
2's great.
Just put that out in theaters again. A nationwide reissue of Halloween 2, because we've already gotten Halloween theatrically a couple of times. What about Halloween 2, huh?
Right?
Please.
I want people to debate on Twitter about why did Dr. Loomis lead the cops to just kill a kid? Like Ben Tramer's drunk and just trying to chill out in an off-brand mask. What? Now, that's a question. Were there different color masks? Like he's like, I'll wear the blonde hair one. And nobody picked it up. Come on. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I think that was one of the whole things about Halloween is you hadn't really seen masks like that at the store. Nobody really sold blank white masks up until the movie became successful. And somehow this little drugstore in Haddonfield had a couple different varieties to choose from.
Yeah, they did. They're like
cutting edge.
Yeah, like we got all these William Shatner, Ben Cooper masks that we sprayed white. Cool. I guess we're gonna have to sell them to this maniac and to Ben Tramer. But justice for Ben Tramer.
Seriously.
He got it. Also, like, it's so grisly when they find him. Like, come on. And no one says to Loomis, like, you killed a kid. You got a
Yeah.
kid killed. Like,
There are no repercussions for Dr. Loomis for
no.
anything that he does in the movie.
And even later, and I saw someone say, bring back the Druids. 100% bring back the fucking Druids. I love 6. I love when movies go off the rails. Other people are like, this is horrible. And people clutch their pearls. I love it. Send them to space. Send them to the moon. I'm ready. I love Jason X. I'm here for all
Jason
of it.
X was pretty fun, I have to admit.
The
I thought that
hologram
was
scene
pretty...
where he's just beating the girl in the sleeping bag against a tree over and over again, and like it's great.
I didn't hate Jason X. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, looks like it's time for the drink videos.
It is. Dr. Death is shocked that we haven't done the drink segment yet, and it's already almost time to go. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Elvis likes making cocktails. He says until you start shaking them up.
Elvis, you ready for Dr. Death? We got to hanging out with Dr. Death? Okay.
He said, yeah.
That's East Coast Wally. There he is. All right. This is a soul
Shout out to Wally.
Shout out to Wally. This is the soul transfer, which is from the movie Dr. Death. Pretty exciting. It's pretty simple. We got an ounce of Malibu. We got 2 ounces of Malibu, an ounce of Bailey's, an ounce of half and half, 4 ounces of Cocoa Real. Good 2 to 4. Depends if you really like coconut.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of coconut. And a dash of Kahlua. Just a dash. We're going to make it in a glass with ice. You don't need a shaker. You may notice that when you put these together, you get a cool separation.
It's the Bailey's and the Malibu.
Yeah, so we're going to put the Bailey's and the Malibu together. Some half and half. Coconut. No jokes, please. Bloop.
Use your spoon.
Use your spoon. Oh, we're having some problems with ectoplasm in the drink. Feels like there's a ghost in the drink. Or something, huh?
Please place that in the sink.
Please place that in the sink. And then we're going to do a dash. This is real Kahlua. This is Kahlua made by my mom. You can't get it anywhere. Use real Kahlua, but this is what I got. I got a big one. This is from 2018. That's how you know it's strong. It just gets stronger with time. Oh, it is chocolatey. We're just going to do a little drizz. There we go. A little splash. And there you go. That's the soul transfer. It's a soul transfer in a glass. A little bit of Dr. Death. Let's see what it tastes like. My spoon is very coconutty.
Put it in the cup.
Huh?
Put it in there.
Look at that. No mess. No muss, no fuss, no mess. I'll probably spill it all over myself. Anyway, enjoy the movie. I'm sure you're already done talking to me. This is me from the past telling you that I love this movie and that I probably am going to love this drink. Let's try a sip. It's coconutty. If you like coconut and you like Dr. Death, well, guess what? I got a drink for y'all.
All right, Pazuzu.
I'm drinking my old man drink, my blueberry ashwagandha stress relieving tea.
Oh, it's like you've been doing ecstasy at the club all night, and now you have to drink some herbal tea.
Yeah, I am coming down hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It's like I'm in spun, but I'm the second hour, not the first hour.
I love Tracy's comment. The soul transfer.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Soul Train was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid.
I always wanted to do the line. You know, when everybody comes down the line, I would be horrible, but I wanted to do it.
It was all about the line, and the dancers were so cool. Everybody looked different.
Yeah,
you know, like everybody had their own look, and they were doing their own thing. It just looked like a party, and I wanted to be there.
Speaking of dancing, Sam Furstenberg shared pictures from the New Beverly this weekend. They showed Breaking 1 and 2 there, and most of the surviving cast was there. And Lucinda Dickey was signing posters, and I was like, man, I was so jealous. I was like, man, I got a lot of Ninja 3 stuff to get signed. Oh man.
Matt did it backwards. He's got to
Uh,
be different.
oh no. That's how you let him into your life.
Uzu Zap.
I've
Yeah,
watched enough spirit board movies. I've seen all the witch boards. I know what happens. Be careful.
Matt. I'm telling you, we had Pazuzu for many, many years, and he's not as bad as they make him out to be in the movie. You know, he has a potty mouth, but he didn't break half the shit that I thought he was going to break. And he's handy to have around when you need to vacuum under the bed.
Yeah. He didn't like the other Exorcist either. He's like, God.
No.
He was like, gosh darn it, because he won't say God damn it. It's weird. You would think a demon would say it, but he's like, no, GD. I don't like that movie. And I'm like, wow, he's trying to fix his life now. Pazuzu. He does have a potty mouth though, but not a blasphemous one. Odd, strange. We don't know how this happened. We're still learning and growing with him. You know?
I don't know. He was pretty blasphemous when we had him, but
Really?
Yeah.
He's in his old age. He's getting kind of chill. You know, he's like me. He's like, can I have some of that ashwagandha tea? Yeah. Can you handle it? Can you handle it, Pazoo? He's like, yeah.
He can take it.
He can take it. He's like, I made a girl throw up pea soup, dude. I did it. I made her come down. Her mom was having a party, and I came down and I said to an astronaut, "You're gonna die up there." That's my favorite line in the whole movie.
She pissed the rug.
Pissed the rug.
Yeah, and who cleaned it up? Not her mom, the maid.
The maid, right?
That's what it's like to be rich.
It is. That's a movie about rich people being rich people. It's not about possession, right? It's about an old cop and an old priest becoming friends. That's what that movie's about.
Well, Chris is more rich than anybody imagined because by the second movie, she's got a fucking Russian billionaire apartment that she's living in New York. Come on.
Yeah. How? I
mean, with a rooftop where you can go stand up there and there's no railing. Can you imagine that kind of thing today? Like with all the safety standards?
She has enough money. Here's the thing. We talked about insurance, and we hate to bring the real world into this. Can you imagine the insurance costs of sending Reagan to that place, putting the metal band on her head and everything? Like that's out of network as fuck, right? That is so much money. And she's like, I'll just be in another 3 movies. She's probably in a Bruno Mattei movie or something. She probably has to go to Italy to be in these movies at this point.
I don't get her. I really don't. I don't know what her problem is, especially in Exorcist 2. She's not even there. Okay. Yeah. She's a terrible mother.
Yeah.
So
hey, Burger Boy has unsubbed, by the way.
I know. I'm sorry to see him go.
Sad, boring non-tent. Wow. Thanks, Burger Boy. I appreciate it. Non-tent.
That's the worst remark of all, non-tent.
Oh, I'm not going to sleep.
Creators.
We shan't sleep tonight.
Thanks a lot, Burger Boy.
Yeah. Sorry that we didn't talk about burgers.
Anyway, Dr. Death, you're going to love the 70s vibe in this movie, or else you're just totally going to hate Dr. Death. I'm warning you right away. It's very 1970s. And look fast for Mo Howard in his final role ever.
Yeah. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Stooges' brother lived in Squirrel Hill. He was a dentist. And they often visited Pittsburgh and used to make appearances at Kennywood.
Far out.
Yeah. So there's a lot of videos, film of them. The Stooges had VHS before anyone else. It's crazy. Right. I know. Yeah. Whatever.
You know my feelings about the Stooges.
Yeah, I do.
I really don't like.
You referred to them as sad, boring non-tent, didn't you?
They were the original non-tent.
Yeah. Nomi Malone is here, and she said the rest of us are enthralled. So thank you, Nomi.
Thanks, Nomi.
I appreciate it. I'm still sad that Burger Boy's left.
I never ask Nomi where she's from anymore because that makes her really mad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Nomi Malone makes me think of Showgirls. So
I don't mean to misgender Nomi Malone if they are something else.
No, I think Nomi's a dude.
Bill's gonna scream at me about losing Burger Boy as soon as we go off the air. So I just want to apologize to everybody. So that's what'll happen. He subbed first though. What made him sub before? And how long did he have to train for it?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. Little
He clicked the
BDSM
button,
joke.
which hopefully he'll click the button again.
Yeah,
Because
come
if
on
you
back.
haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. It's Groovy Dome. Many of you are watching on there already, so it's real easy. Just click that subscribe button, and hopefully you have the link to tonight's first feature, Dr. Death, ready to go. It's on the Groovy Doom Facebook page if you want to go get it before we start our first feature.
Thanks to everybody for coming out tonight and watching it with us. And thanks
Yeah.
for remember to like and subscribe. And enjoy the show.
Sinomi knows what I'm talking about. She
Yeah.
gets really mad whenever anyone asks her where she lives, and throughout the movie, she's like, different places. She's really annoyed. I love how Elizabeth Berkley's acting is so berserk in that movie, but I can just hear Paul Verhoeven telling her to do that too. I think she takes a lot of shit for her performance in Showgirls, but really, I think she was doing exactly what Paul Verhoeven asked her to do, and she didn't know how to like stand up to the director, maybe because it was her first movie.
Yeah.
I think she just did. She didn't fight for anything. Probably she was just like, okay, I'll do it, and poor her because it tanked her career. But why am I talking about Showgirls when we're about to watch Dr. Death?
I can get you to talk about Showgirls because Naomi Malone is in the chat, and we moved to that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sam wanted to do Showgirls for Halloween.
Yeah, as a mystery movie where nobody would know what it was, and then we sent you the link, and it was Showgirls, and it was like, you're gonna really somebody, and I was like, all right. And then we're like, should we show Showgirls 2 for Halloween? That's what we should show. Penny's revenge.
Pennies from heaven.
From heaven.
Poor Penny.
Poor Penny. Oh, Penny.
She really didn't get it. Penny did not get it. And she showed up to strip at the Cheetah.
See, I think Elizabeth Berkley you had the scene of her getting high on diet pills on Saved by the Bell. So like that's like a high mark in her career already. And,
Well, she carried that so well that they were like, okay, yeah, we can let her have the lead in Showgirls.
Guys, by the way, John Streicher's is almost home. So if you broke it into his house and you're watching the show, get out before he gets in with his coke and cracking, because he's there. He's packing. So watch out.
Don't make him start busting.
Yeah, he's gonna come in, busting makes him feel good. He's gonna take you guys out. So.
All right. So go check out Dr. Death. The link is on Groovy Doom. It's on YouTube, streaming free. But search, if you're going to do your own independent search, it's Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls is what you want to go with. And there's a beautiful fixed up print on YouTube. Let's go watch it and come back afterwards. Feature too. So come back.